अब चल कर अब चल कर अब चल
तब प्राण तन से निकले, जब प्राण तन से निकले,
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेके राम नाम,
पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेके राम नाम।
भव समुद्र सुख ढलाव एक राम नाम,
भव समुद्र सुख ढलाव एक राम नाम।
परम शांति सुख निधान मंत्र राम नाम,
परम शांति सुख निधान मंत्र राम नाम।
निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम,
निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम।
परम गोप्य परम दिव्य मंत्र राम,
परम गोप्य परम दिव्य मंत्र राम नाम।
संत हृदय सदा वसत एक राम नाम,
संत हृदय सदा वसत एक राम नाम।
माता पिता बंधु सखा सभी राम नाम,
माता पिता बंधु सखा सभी राम नाम।
राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम राम राम
बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे
का सहारा तेरा नाम
मुझे दुनिया वालों से
का साम
रंग में तेरे रंग के गिरिधर छोड़ दिया जग सारा रंग में तेरे रंग के गिरिधर छोड़ दिया जग सारा रंग में तेरी प्रेम की जो गंजती है काया हो यहाँ साचो तेरो नाम रे बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे ज्योति दुनिया ज्योति बंधन ज्योति है ये माया ज्योति दुनिया ज्योति बंधन ज्योति है ये माया ज्योत सांस का आना जाना ज्योति है ये काया हो यहाँ साचो तेरो नाम रे बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
ओ हरे कृष्णा हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Every moment of my life, please be with me.
In every moment of my life, please be with me.
In every single act of mine, be thou my guide.
In every single act of mine, please be my guide.
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba.
when I slip, when I fall, lend me your hand.
When I slip, when I fall, lend me your hand.
When I stray far away, lead me back again.
When I stray far away, bring me back again.
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba.
from the darkness into light, lead me, Father.
From the darkness into light, lead me, Father.
From the unreal into the real.
From the unreal to the real.
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba,
Baba Sai Baba.
every moment of my life, please be with me.
In every moment of my life, please be with me.
I don't know which one.
आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला,
दो दिन की जिंदगी, दो दिन का मेला।
आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला।
आए
भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला,
दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला।
हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले, जीवन मिले ना फिर ये जीवन को पाले। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले, जीवन मिले ना फिर ये जीवन को पाले। खेल जगत का सारा तूने दुख झेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी एक झूठ सपना, गैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी एक झूठ सपना, गैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। जग का सारा तूने दुख झेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला। दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला। दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला। सुख दुख दोनों रहते जिसमें, जीवन है वो गाँव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। सुख दुख दोनों रहते जिसमें, जीवन है वो गाँव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। ऊपर वाला पासा फेंके नीचे चलते दाँव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। आते जगत में बुरे भी दिन आते, भले भी दिन आते जगत में बुरे भी दिन आते। करवे मीठे फल कर्म का यहाँ सभी पाते। कभी सीधे कभी उल्टे परते अजब समय के पाओ। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। सुख दुख दोनों रहते जिसमें, जीवन है वो गाँव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। क्या खुशियाँ क्या गम ये सब मिलते बारी बारी। क्या खुशियाँ क्या गम ये सब मिलते बारी बारी। मालिक की मर्जी पे चलते ये दुनिया सारी। ध्यान से कहना जग नदिया में बंदी अपनी नाव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। सुख दुख दोनों रहते जिसमें जीवन है वो गाओ। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। ऊपर वाला पासा फेंके नीचे चलते दाओ। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। कभी धूप कभी छाँव, कभी धूप तो कभी छाँव। तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। किसने जानी तेरी माया, कितने बेर तुम्हारा पाया। किसने जानी तेरी माया, कितने बेर तुम्हारा पाया। हरे ऋषि मुनि कर ध्यान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान तू ही जल में, तू ही तल में, तू ही मन में, तू ही वन में।
जल में तू ही तन में, तू ही मन में, तू ही वन में।
तेरा रूप अनूप महान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। बना मन मंदिर आलीशान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। Thank you.
Principally Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। सब कोई खड़े हो जाए। Let's all stand for a moment as we offer prayer to that Supreme Almighty, Creator of everyone and everything, Sustainer of everyone and everything, and in whom everyone and everything reposes. Hari Om. Shantakaram Bhujagashainam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalaнаinam Yogi Bhirdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu सर्वलोकनाथम। प्रेम से बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, विष्णु भगवान की जय। अपन आसन पर बैठ जाए, प्लीज टेक यू सीट। Rajendranathnam Praitasya Mritistani Shonamit Idam Deepam Maya Dite Taupatistitam Om Yani Kani Papani Janmantar Kitani Cha Tani Tani Binashyanti Pradakshina Prade Prade Om Rajendranathnam Praitasya Mritistani Shaunamit Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Taupatistitam Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha doot kare Jai 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 Krishna
Jai 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 Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha doot kare Jai 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 Krishna Hare आशा का दूर किनारा
जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न केवन वाला हो और कोई न केवन वाला हो फिर
दूरी मेरा पार करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू
कुछ कर दे विष तो ही अमृत भर दे
पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे जो भी तेरा
ज्ञान दे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे
श्री कृष्ण हरे
हो दुखियों को दुख
जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरप रहा तेरा नाम की माला जपत रहा तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरप रहा तेरा नाम की माला जपत रहा भव सागर से मोरी नैया भव सागर से मोरी नैया क्षण में जाए किनार हो क्षण Jai Krishna Hare O.
Krishna Hare
Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare.
Jai 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 Krishna Hare
Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. If we could get some chairs for these children to have a seat, they can take a seat here. Bring it right here for them. Yeah, can sit down there. Yeah. You can put your chair there. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. This morning, we have all assembled here to acknowledge the life, the great work, the contribution of a great soul in this community, in this country at large. And it so happens, I do not think this is by any coincidence, that the power supply went out. Of course, it came back here too. And this is also an indication in our dharma that where there is death, there is also life. Avagaman. There is no finality with us. We are eternal beings. And that is just a passing experience. We are here for a very short time. The bhajan tells us, Do din ka zindagi, do din ka mela. How we make use of this short time upon this earth is very important. This gentleman before us here today, he first of all was a photographer. He would have visited numerous weddings, social gatherings, and all these things, capturing very treasured moments in the lives of many of us. He also was a television cameraman as well. Many of the young people will not remember or not recall TTT. But every time I would see a program and see photographer Reggie Seeraj, a great feeling would come to my heart. Pride that this, my cousin, was that cameraman capturing all that there was, established himself with the grassroots. He was a man with his feet on the ground. Never too high, never too big for anybody. And this reflected upon that aspect of his life when he was there. Right by Bibeki Savannah, I see his friend here as well, the son, the present proprietor. Right over the road, there was this big savannah, we all know, Bibeki Savannah, and all events would be taking place there. Reggie was 100% a part of that. Reggie was a politician, a great politician. He rubbed shoulders with the prime ministers of this country. The late Basdev Pandey, the present leader of the opposition as Prime Minister as well, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And he was very close in touch with them. One phone call away, this man. He was a lion, a tiger in his own right. I think he took over this title from his brother Jivan. Some time ago, Jivan had that title, but he took it away from him. 100%. We call that Bahadur. Today I would like to christen him Reggie Seeraj Bahadur. Very brave, fearless, outspoken. He would tell you everything that is not right, what is right. Fearlessly, this gentleman here, speaking from his heart, not from his brains, not how it go look. No. He was a man, he stood for truth. This gentleman here. He raised children, 5 daughters. It's not an easy task, but I think I can say successfully he raised 5 daughters, his son as well, and even grandchildren as well. When Reggie would sit and talk with me, like time didn't have any limit, we would talk and talk and talk and talk about everything. Politics, religion, economics. So this gentleman was self-taught, but he could fit in any discussion and answer for himself 100%. I was a bit elder than him, and sometimes I thought that, well, maybe I might show my seniority. I never was able to. Reggie gave me advice many times, which I took, and I can very truly say it brought me great success. Always ready to give advice, to tell from top to bottom. When the Prime Minister come down, he would give advice. This is that man that we hear today, gathered to say farewell and thank you for your contribution. As a politician, he would not only be dialoguing with those on his side of the fence, even on the other side, not belligerently, but very warmly. And they all recognize that in him. His purpose was not personality or small issues, but the general welfare of the country. Whoever was there, whoever was in charge and running the show, it didn't matter to him. And there was nothing like color, class, creed, race, anything with this gentleman. He spent a lot of time as a set-aside devotee. Not only on the material side, but on the ecclesiastical side as well. Very spiritual, knowing exactly what he is for, what is his purpose here, and to fulfill that purpose in every way. He respected his parents. In one book it is said, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long and happy. He seemed to have taken that and placed it indelibly in his heart. Not only his parents, but ancestors as well. 100% respect and love. Today, this great work of his has come to an end. But the memory will last forever. It would be etched in everyone's hearts who have come in touch with him. This is that gentleman that we have here. He never aspired to be prime minister, to be top of the class in any way, but he was right there with everyone, from top to bottom. This is a man of the people. And he recognized that. He lived his life as such. Anyone can talk to him. Anyone could meet him and have any discussion with him, and he would be able to surely make a meaningful contribution. This is this great cousin of mine, younger than me, but I recognize him more senior to me, more knowledgeable to me in many fields. Very humble, polite, but so much so that he is determined to have whatever is right established. I think this might have been a little problem for his better half. Maybe the children as well too. But I think she understood that. She understood that and tolerated and lived with it as well. This only brings out her greatness as well to the wife of a great man. They say behind every great man there's a true. So today, if the Lord has said that you have done enough, my son, and it is time, this is your allotted time upon this earth, I am sure our Father would have said that he is pleased with him. That he is pleased with him. He made his mark fearlessly, with all conviction. Many of us are not like that. Many of us fall short. It is something for us to admire. And if we can take one page of his book of life and put into practice this contribution that he made, we can all make ourselves better individuals. As I said, we call a great man Mahatma. I would like to say Bahadur. Fearless and great. So today, we say thank you. Thank you, Father, for sending a chosen son upon this earth to rub shoulders with us all, from all walks of life, and to have made his contribution in our betterment and our upliftment in our private lives, in our family lives, in the community, in this country. And we thank you. The bhajan says, हरे राम मिलन कब हो अंडे सवाला गिर रहे ओ हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंडे सवाला गिर रहे हो देहियारथवा में इंद्रियन पहियो राम देहियारथवा में इंद्रियन पहियो राम भाव के पंथ चले ओ भाव के पंथ चले अंडे सवाला गिर ओ हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंडे सवाला गिर पापनि सी में जीवन निंदिया हो पापनि सी में जीवन निंदिया हो भजन की भोर भये ओ भजन की भोर भये अंडे सवाला गिर हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो अंडे सवाला गिर जगरत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति तुरैया हो जगरत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति तुरैया हो जीतो तब राम मिले ओ जीतो तब राम मिले अंडे सवाला गिर ओ हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो सवाला गिर वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहु व्यंजन वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहु व्यंजन पाकर बंज बलि ओ पाकर बंज बलि देशवाला गिर हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो देशवाला गिर हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो देशवाला गिर ओ हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो देशवाला गिर That bhajan tells us, while the mind wishes to remain here and to continue the work that he has undertaken to perform, the soul is crying out, "O Lord, when will that day come when I would meet with you once again? Ram Milan kab ho, when, O Lord?" And it is only by the grace of that Supreme Almighty that we can take exit here. This is his wish, this is his destiny. I am sure he had a lot of fight still in his body, in his mind. He could have gone on for 100 years working the way how he did, endlessly. He was the last of siblings, and I remember being at their home as a little boy together with Gemma. Well, Gemma was just after him, so she was his caretaker. But before, yes, so she was before him. And Jivan also, with his pranks, did all sorts of wickedness with this poor boy, but only with love. They all treasured him, everyone. I remember Barbara would say, his name is Regindranath. Yes, she made sure that that name was pronounced well. Proud of him. And he lived up to their expectations 100%. Today, we have his children with us here, and I would ask them to come and express some sentiments. His 5 daughters to begin with, one at a time.
Hi, Sitaram, and good morning, everyone. I am Reggie's daughter, Kavita. For those of you who know me, knows that I'm the sibling that would not really give speeches or be in the spotlight. Very opposite to my dad, I might add. But being the eldest of his 6 kids, I don't think I could have allowed my final moments with my dad to pass without saying something in his honor. My dad can be described in many ways, and over the last few days we've heard them all. Controversial, stubborn, stands up for his rights, witty, leader, and a man of many, many words. While all these are true, as a father, the words I would use are present, strict, protective, involved even after we got married and left home, fun, childish at times, and always want to openly express his love for us. My dad was a bit of a paradox as a parent. For the first 3 of us, he was very set in his views on things that we shouldn't do, such as going out with friends, be it cinema or even the mall, far less to entertain the thought of us going to a club. However, from child to adulthood, he always treasured family time, doing every activity possible with us. As teenagers, he was known as the fun parent amongst all of our friends. He allowed us to have many limes or parties at home, and even DJ'd and entertained our friends to all hours of the morning. I guess once he knew we were safe at home, that is what mattered to him. As many may know, he went through many traumatic experiences, especially in the earlier part of his life. The loss of his leg due to a car accident at the age of 17 being the worst, and even losing part mobility in his wrist, which was chopped during a robbery. These incidents definitely affected him for years to come, both physically and mentally. However, it brought out the fighter that was the epitome of his being. Growing up, I never thought of him as disabled because he would never act as such. Even up to yesterday evening, one of my friends who has known my family for over 30-something years, when we mentioned something about his leg, she was like, Kavita, I know your family. I know you since primary school, and I never know your dad was missing a leg. Because up to recently, she would have seen him working at one of her kids' school events, videoing, and he was always so active. He never behaved as if he was disabled, and he set out to prove that he could do everything. He always used to say, either you well or dead. There was no in between. And while my sister will speak on his many accomplishments, one thing I will always say, my father's ambition in life was unmatched, and this was something he always tried to instill in his kids. From working at his full-time job and simultaneously running many businesses to provide for us, to physically taking part in every aspect of building this home, he did everything in his lifetime to ensure we were comfortable. It was not an easy road, but he fought every step of the way. And I think this is why most who know him are shocked at his death. They knew Reggie the fighter, the man who would never give up. But in my heart, I believe that for my dad not to be with us today, he really had to go. One of his favorite songs was I Did It My Way, and no one can deny this is how he lived his life. Honestly, the impact he had on my life cannot be summarized in 2 minutes. He was my protector. Those who close to him knew that he fasted religiously every Thursday, strictly no food, salt, anything. What they would not know, and even I didn't until years after, is that he started this fast for me. He had a bad dream or premonition about something happening. He never shared the details, but he did his fast and offered his prayers to keep me protected. My husband Nishal would always jokingly say, "You can't bad talk Reggie in front of Kavita. She loved him all." And it was the truth. I did love him all. Before I end, I just want to acknowledge my mom, the strongest woman we know, who would have been married to my dad 40 years this year, and with whose support and sacrifice enabled my dad to accomplish all that he did for our family. We love you, Mom.
Good morning, everyone. Saram. I am my dad's second daughter. And they would also joke that I was the favorite because he and I apparently are the same. Legacy. When we think about the word legacy, we know it's a multifaceted word, right? Because we often think of legacy. And when we hear that word, the first thing people think is, valuable gifts being handed down. But your most treasured legacy will always be intangible. Your values, the things you accomplished, the way you live your life, and the memories you leave behind. I don't know if this is coincidence or maybe not. Just a month ago, my dad and I had a discussion about his legacy. And I asked him, "What do you think you would be remembered for?" Saying it out loud now seems so surreal because at that time, there was no thought about anything like this happening, right? That the topic just, for whatever reason, the topic came up. During that discussion, he talked a lot about his past and the challenges he faced. And as you heard, there were many. But we also talked about the many hats he wore in his lifetime. I don't know how many of you know, but he was a DJ back in his day. We grew up with him as he had a music shop before he had us, but he continued DJing for years after. His name was Music Master Reggie. And all of us, the first three of us, would have fond memories of carnival celebrations and everything, and he would have us with him playing music, and we were always involved he always kept us involved in everything that he was doing. Besides being a DJ, he was a sound engineer, he was a cameraman, a videographer, the best videographer, I might add. A trade union leader, many of you don't know, he led a march in front of the Red House. He was also a table tennis champion, and I think many people don't know that, but we actually recently spoke about that. And he was telling me he made headlines because he beat some Chinese champion who came down here. There's so many things about him. Politician, businessman, and I think everybody knows a jack of all trades. He was a plumber, mechanic, what else? Electrician. He would fix everything in the house. Whether it was fixed properly or not, I don't know, but he fixed everything. So much so that his grandkids and my nephew, sometimes if something goes wrong, he would tell his mom, "Don't worry, Papa could fix that." Because they just think Papa will fix anything. All those hats he wore, but to us, he was and will always be Dad. And I think that to him, in speaking about legacy, I think that to him, his greatest legacy was his children. The values he instilled in us, the lessons he taught, together with the unconditional love that he had for all of us, is what made us into who we are today. As my sister said about the accident, and in spite of that trauma, he powered through and did everything as if he was no different from anyone. Some people might be satisfied by doing the bare minimum. Some people strive for more. And if you know my dad, he did the most. I believe, and we always thought because of the early traumas in his life, he always wanted to prove that he could do anything, and really and truly, he did any and everything. And through that, we always saw resilience in him, and that's one of his best qualities, and one that I aspire to have. In spite of everything, he always ensured that our family was provided for. As children, and even as adults, we wanted for nothing. He was extremely loving. He was always playful. And growing up, he was actually the fun parent. All our friends would always say, your dad is the cool dad. He would take us to ride our bikes. He'd carry us to the beach like weekend after weekend. When I think about my childhood, I was telling my husband, like every Sunday we're going to the beach, and he would work shift from TTT, come home whatever time, and always ensure that we go to the beach. He carried us to concerts. When we got older, he occasionally carried us to clubs. He was just present for everything. All school events, PTA meetings, school bazaars, school barbecues, he was involved in everything. And with all his work and everything he was doing, somehow he managed to be present for everyone at the same time. I know each of us would have our own special relationship, and we would share similar stories. But for me, I mean, if I have to stand here and tell you about all the special moments and all the things we loved about him, we'll be here till the Bandara. So just to zone into one thing I loved about him was the fact that I could talk to him about anything at all. He was so easy to talk to, and he always knew what advice to give. So much so that even, I can't remember if I ever go into him and he didn't have the answer to something that I wanted to know. He was so easy to talk to, so much so that as a teenage girl, when I met my now husband, we were sitting talking, my dad and I said, I like this boy, you know. And he said, okay, and he asked me questions about him, and then he said, okay. And then 7 years later, he made sure that I had the wedding that I dreamed of. Nothing would stop us. I wanted to get married from here and leave from here. And, you know, when mom was saying maybe she should do it at a temple, and he was like, she wants to leave from home, she will leave from home. We having this wedding here. And he made sure that everything was exactly as I wanted it. I consider myself lucky, blessed to have had him in my life for 37 years. My husband was able to share a relationship with him for 20 years, and both my children grew up with him, and I know that they will always treasure the fun memories with their Papa Reggie. Dad, I hope you know, and I think you know how much we love you, how much we appreciate everything that you have done, and we will forever be grateful for the greatest gift that you have given us, which is each other. This family that you have created is what helped us through everything in life. And we thank you. You did your duty as a father, as a husband, as a son. You did your duty that you came to do in this life. And now you are free. And we would always end our WhatsApp chats. And I would end today by saying, peace out, Daddy.
Hi, Sitaram. Well, I'm the third eldest of the daughters. Well, what can I say that hasn't already been said by my two older sisters? All three of us had the same or very similar experiences as we grew up together. My three younger siblings, they came a little while after. So most of you would know the hard exterior that my dad portrayed, that tough love personality. But some were privileged enough to know the soft and loving, caring person underneath it all. Also the life of the party. Growing up with my dad, we experienced both. He was a disciplinarian, but still the fun, playful parent, as my sister mentioned. Sorry, Mom. He would be the one to carry us on road trips, beach every Sunday, and so many different things. I remember, especially before my last three siblings came along, whether he worked day or night, he would always make time for us, and he'd come early in the morning and say, who wants to go beach? And I'd be the first to say, me. And he would say, okay, we're leaving home by 10 a.m. And yet every time we would be leaving home at 3 p.m. and then lying till 8 in the night at the beach. And those were some really fun childhood memories. As teens, he actually gave us our first drink, as he said, it's better that we do it in front of his face than behind his back. And most of my friends, as you know, Indira and Kavita mentioned, used to say, your dad's so cool. And I'd be like, you're not living with him. But he really was a cool dad. He was very strict when it came to going out, especially cinema, because I don't know what he thinks happens in the movies. But he always allowed us to have friends over and lime however long we wanted, I guess because he thought he can have an eye on us. He always said, what we have in our head, he have under his 1 foot, so we can't pull anything on him. But I was really thinking about the unconditional love he had for us, and one memory that will always stick with me was over 10 years ago. I came home from a very toxic marriage, and my dad hugged me immediately and said, don't go back there, this is your home. And I would never forget those words. And you know, as I got older, into my late 20s, and then even in these recent years, we got really close, especially when I had my first daughter, Anaya. He was convinced, well, he had a very special bond with her. He was convinced that he knew her from a past life, so he would always call or come over to see her. He was the grandfather that everyone wishes for. Playful, always doing foolishness with his grandkids, very loving, acting like he's 10 years old. Last week Sunday, actually, I came home to visit them. As I usually do, nothing out of the ordinary. But usually when I come home, the first thing I would do is really go look for my mom. And as I was walking upstairs, my father was downstairs with Ari doing work as usual. And he was like, you know, your mother not home? And I was like, oh gosh, okay, where's she gone? And so I still went upstairs to make sure she wasn't home. And then I came back down, and we actually ended up liming in the gazebo all afternoon with the kids. And usually when Anaya comes over, she always asks, well, her papa, he always buys snacks for her, so she asking him for lollies. And he was like, oh gosh, I didn't know you were coming. I didn't buy any. And less than 5 minutes later, he tell her, I'm going to buy some snacks for you. And he went to get the lollies. And when he left, it started to pour rain. And I would tell Anaya, I say, look how your papa gone in the rain to buy, you know, this for you, you know. Yeah. When he actually came back, you know, we were still outside hanging out, and you know, when we here, he would usually offer me a beer or whatever, and I would usually say yes, okay. But that day, I didn't really feel to have any, so I said, you know, no, I don't want any. But if I actually knew it was the last one we would have together, I wouldn't have refused. Dad, I would miss you so much. I will miss all your regular video calls to see your granddaughters, and then all the regular all the conversations we would have in between those video calls, talking about all kind of things, especially politics, and me on the other end just saying when necessary, because it was really you just going on and on about politics. I'll miss all the family limes with music blasting on the speaker, and you making sure everyone comfortable. Life, everything will never be the same. I love you, Dad.
Hi, Saram. I'm Sayan. I'm my dad's fourth daughter. So my dad always preached to us that the whole world can change overnight. But my dad was often dramatic, and I never really thought that it can. Then COVID happened, and he was able to prove his point. But COVID didn't change my world overnight. This did. As my dad was a pivotal part of my world. He did literally everything for me. My siblings would often joke that I'm my dad's princess, and maybe they were right. He was my first line of comfort. he'd never say the word no to me. As a child, he combed my hair at night, told me stories, fixed my toys, and anything in the house, in fact. He would put me to lie down on him at the doctor's office and would allow me to bite him while getting injections. If I was in pain, he was in pain. When my mom was away, he'd cook every day and bring it for me in New Year at lunchtime so I'd have warm food. Every morning, he'd cut up fruits and warm tea for my younger siblings and I. Every morning, no matter what, if he's late for something, if he's sick, if he was hungry, he would first say prayers for us and then come and put vibhuti on us. During COVID, he was very much into gardening and planting, and one day he explained to me that he needed to be able to provide even for my elder sisters and their families as well, in case there was a food shortage. I realized then that even when I got married, I'd have nothing to worry about. He'd always have my back, and that he did. Not a day passed by that my husband and I didn't speak about him. He was an inspiration to us. We often wondered how he did it all, how he built a home, built a family, did everything possible. He was differently abled, but not because of his accident though. He was differently abled because he was unlike anyone we knew. He was the strongest, most skilled, most passionate and innovative person I knew. He was the handyman of our family, and he showed up for anyone, anytime, no matter what. He'd always speak about how I slept in his and mom's bedroom for the first 7 years of my life. Even after that, I'd frequently ask him to sleep on the sofa because I'd always want to be close to him. I didn't realize until later on how uncomfortable that must have been for him because he was taller than the couch. But he never once hesitated. While he worked downstairs at night editing videos, I'd go keep him company. So much so I knew the process and made up a song for it. He would always call me for hug-ups and then not let go. If I want him to let go, he'd say I'd have to sing the Let Go song, which was a song he made up, yet he'd keep holding on when I sang it. Up until now, I always feel the need to hug my dad. Oftentimes before I go home, I'd hug him. And sometimes if I didn't, I'd feel so incomplete. Last Saturday at my party, we had such a heart-to-heart after he found out he was having a grandson, but I didn't hug him as he left. I felt so strange as I saw him leave. When I saw him on Thursday, I made sure to hug him, but it didn't feel like enough. It was on the hospital bed and I couldn't hold him tight enough. As my mom walked out, I lingered back. I just felt like I couldn't leave him as yet, although everything was fine with him that day. I often needed my dad's hugs, his comfort, just him in general. He was a huge part of me. For my wedding, he insisted he did certain things like have a band. I didn't want one, he insisted. And I gave in because he told me this is the last wedding he'll be able to do. He somehow always knew this would be his last day. He always stated that he'd live for 10 like the Bible said. I really wished he was wrong though. I wish he could still be here. I never thought that affected me, but I guess I never lost someone who meant so much to me. I feel so numb, so empty, so incomplete. My whole world has changed overnight. He was a loving, playful dad. He had pet names for everyone, from my mom to his kids to his grandkids. Everyone knew how much he wanted a son. When he got his son after 5 daughters, he was elated. Although he often tried to hide it and denied that he so badly wanted a son. My brother was his eyeball, and he was my brother's eyeball when he was young. Everything for Sivi will be my father. I want a haircut like my father. I want my clothes like my father. He was my father's, well, as my dad would call him, Gucci boy. So much so in his last moments, the only person he called out for was his Gucci, and he died peacefully with my brother at his side. We will treasure all the memories and the millions of lessons he taught us. I am happy he got to see all my milestones. I'm happy for the relationship he and my husband shared. I'm happy he got to be my father in this lifetime. His grandson will surely know everything about him. I love you, Dad. My dad are in you.
Salam, everyone. So I'm the last daughter. He probably saved the best for last. But anyways, my father always said that I'm the luckiest out of all the children because he got to spend the most time with me. As for the others, he was working all the time. I mean, my brother came after me, but I guess he just decided, I was the one he wanted to spend time with because he always think that he could share all his knowledge with me and that I have to be like a sponge and soak it up, which I probably didn't all the time. He so wanted to spend time with me. Even last Christmas, I said I'll get him Gorilla Glue because he was stick up by me. Anyways, though we never really saw eye to eye all the time, but I mean, whoever really saw eye to eye with him. Aside from that, we did have a close bond. As he said, I was the luckiest, and I'm the only one he ever shared his secrets to, more spiritual or religious secrets. But as I got older, he even told me about certain things that happened in his life that he never told anyone. And with that, we always had profound conversations, which I am thankful for. And if he's hearing this now, he'd be like, you see, I tell you, it's only when I'm gone, then you would appreciate what I was telling you. While he wasn't the easiest person to deal with, I'm happy with the moments we shared. I'm happy that he fulfilled his role as a father, making sure we always had everything and more. His main thing was that we always had food, clothes, and shelter, because he was like, what more you need? But he made sure he was able to provide extra that his parents couldn't do, like sending us university, giving us the opportunity to travel, or having toys for Christmas, because he claimed that he had to make his own toys. Or on the whole, just being able to go out and not have to worry about anything. I always did say I'm happy that you were able to go a step further. While I wasn't the princess like Zion, he still did a lot for me as he wished. He still did a lot for me as he wished that I do get someone to do these things for me. Example being having tea ready and hot fast in the morning, fruits cut up, and even after saying his prayers, giving us vibuti. I could be bathing and he would make me pop up my head to get vibuti, and he'd be like, you think anybody in this world will do that to give you darshan? Another way of getting darshan was by the many, many calls at night that I would get, which call number 1 is to get his eye drops, call number 2 is for ice cream, call number 3 is to dim his light, call number 4 is to cover him. I'm like, and the list goes on. And just 2 weeks ago, I was telling my sisters, I was showing them a screenshot of all the calls I got at night, and I was like, but that's the only man who's calling me in the night, so he had nothing to worry about. I guess I'll miss those calls after all, on the messages, but, well, he had the nicknames for us, Sweet Cookie, Are You Awake? And then it followed by ice cream emoji, because he wanted ice cream. Also, he made sure that I was fully around when he was doing anything, like fixing car, changing oil, fixing pump, or some kind of work, even toting wood and bricks and galvanized from one side to the next, and then moving it back to the original spot, which I never understood. But it was just that I could be self-sufficient, because it's like, when you get a big job, then when you have to pay somebody to do something, then you understand, so at least you could do it yourself. He even said that he used to take my other siblings to concerts or the club, or even a casino, so no boy could woo them with taking them those places, because they would have already seen and experienced it. But for me, them thing never happened. After I turned 12, my age stopped for him. He always see me as 12. So they were told, they could have a boyfriend at 17. Well, I still waited to hear him say anything for me. I felt too bad because now I can't hear it. And even driving, they got a license at 17 or 18, but he always said that I wasn't ready, so I'm still 21 waiting for that. And I always tell him that, I would like him to teach me, but I guess, that wouldn't happen. I used to tell him, you just want me to be here till like 30 years old. But I say he fast-tracked that by 9 years, so that he was only with me just for 21. I mean, maybe it's too soon to say that. Last year when my sister got married, I happened to catch the bouquet, and he just walked to me and hugged me like I actually was getting married soon. And I make a little joke and say, yeah, next year. And so from then till last week, he would occasionally say, and to get married next year. Up till last weekend, I was washing dishes because he's always making me wash the dishes. And he was talking, but I wasn't really taking him on until I heard something about, you're not finishing school this year because you're going to get married. I don't know what he was on about. And that's one thing I'm sad about, is that I always assumed and wished he would be here for that milestone of life and be able to meet my children if and when I have, as I sometimes feel and felt a way how I never got to meet his parents as they passed away before I was born. But I can't do anything about it. Though he didn't get to witness his 5 daughters get married, at least he all got to see us in bridal outfits, because after my sister got married, I decided to try it on and he saw it. So at least he could see what I look for. I mean, look, you know what I mean. Anyways, I can only now move forward and just cherish the good times that we had and be thankful for all that he did for us. Thank you.
Thank God he only had 5 daughters. If Reggie had 500 daughters, still they wouldn't be able to talk about everything, that all his achievements. On the recognition of his political life, I would like to ask one Prakash Bharat, the councillor, to come forward and express his sentiments.
Sitaram and good morning, Panditji. All members of the Tunapuna UNC executive who are here, National Campaign Manager of the United National Congress who's here, Mr. Firoz Khan. I see a lot of Hillview old boys here. Let me take this opportunity. I'm also an Hillview old boy. Reggie Seeraj was also another Hillview old boy. Family members who are here, all his wife, his 5 daughters, his son, grandchildren, all the burgesses of Kora Paradise, Takarigua. I am the councillor, Prakash Bharat, of this district. He falls in my district. So in addition to UNC ties, he's also a burgess of mine. All well-wishers who are here this morning in this wonderful, beautiful village of El Dorado, I thank you for coming here. Reggie Seeraj, I got to know Reggie Seeraj closely about 2 years ago. I knew him from his political side and his Hillview side on his WhatsApp messages that he would have, chats that we would have had. And in those chats over the years, one would, if you follow those chats, you'd have seen a man who was ferocious with his knowledge. He was by no means a simple person to get along with his views, because when he had his view, you couldn't shake him. He was unshakable. 2 years ago, later part of 2022, we were forming the United National Congress team constituency executive for Tunapuna. And I was approached by Reggie. And he said to me, he said, Praki, I know you're carrying on and I know you're going to put together a team. But I also have a team. And in an effort not to have a fight, why don't we merge? And you select some people from your team, I will select some people from my team, and we'll have one executive. I met with our campaign manager, Firoz Khan, and at his office, Firoz Khan's office, and after a number of meetings, I didn't like the idea. Because I'd heard how ferocious Mr. Reggie Seeraj was. But we decided that was the best way to go. And 2 years ago, Reggie became the vice chairman of the executive, the Tunapuna constituency, UNC executive. And from there to now, he served with distinction. He served fearlessly. We had many running battles. I remember our first battle. And, it came after he had asked me on the very first meeting, and I didn't know. Don't put a meeting for Thursday, and stupid me put this meeting for this Thursday, and he could not attend. And he didn't like that at all. He really didn't like that. And we went at it for 4 hours on the phone. So many of you who would have known Reggie would realize he loved that battle on the phone, where he can express his view, tell you what he had to tell you. And we really went at it. We left disagreeing with one another. But I must say, at 2 o'clock, one of my children said, someone is outside to you. And when I got there, when I went out, it was Reggie. And he came smiling. And he said, hey, listen, let's just forget that, make up. You have anything to drink there? And that was the end of that particular disagreement. He was a political person with a lot of views. He loved this country. Recently he was telling me, boys, I wish that, certain things happen in this country. That, the changes that was necessary to be made for the poor and the underprivileged. You have heard from his daughters, that part of him that was so selfless. And I remember, in giving, I didn't even know he was in that kind of charity work until I'd asked him on several occasions to assist. And he refused all. And then one day, I said, Ace, I'm having a barbecue for my 2 grandchildren who are ill. And he said, how much tickets you want to give me? I said, I don't know how much you want. Well, Reggie Seeraj sold the most tickets in that event for my grandchildren. And he said to me after, he said, Prak, you don't know this, but I do a lot of sewa. I go all over this country doing good work for people. He was vibrant. You couldn't get by Reggie without, having something solid to go on. If he had a point, he would hold on to it. He would fight with it. And I admired him in the end. I admired him for that. We lasted 2 years. Last week, Monday, the week before Monday, we had a very important meeting at the Center of Excellence. It was a Monday. He said he couldn't attend, but because he had a puja here. Somehow he made the time and he came. He was in very good spirits. He actually took over the meeting. And when we left, we had a discussion. He did say to me, he said, I have done a little procedure on Thursday, but it's nothing much. Don't worry about it. I wished him well. And on Wednesday before, we were supposed to have a lime in the river. He called me, saying, not doing the lime again. I said, no, but I don't have the time. He said, oh gosh, let me go now. I really didn't have the time. And that is, how life is, eh? You really, God has really said, it's appointed unto man once to die. We don't know. I couldn't believe it when Gayatri called me that evening and said, Reggie passed Friday evening. I was in UNC headquarters and coming back up the road. And I was totally shocked because I just spoken to him Wednesday. Don't leave things to chance. Make your contribution in his life, however small. He made a lot of contribution. You've heard so much here today from Panditji, from the children. You've heard so much of what the legacy of Reggie would be. And it will be written about, it will be spoken about. You yourself, as your family members, don't wait the last minute. He was here just last week, and he's gone now. Make amends, have forgiveness, have love in your hearts, contribute to your communities, in your little district. I always tell people, the most you can do is contribute to your, if it's not your children, your family, your immediate surroundings. And that is how Reggie lived his life. And today, I want to say farewell, good soldier of the United National Congress. He loved to talk politics, and I'm sure the other person that's coming will elaborate a little more on that. He loved to speak about politics, speak about the country, speak about the United National Congress. A lot of ideas. And in gift to him, I'm hoping that a gift to him would be a big change in this country in 2025, this year, sometime whenever those elections are called and that bell is rung. God bless his soul, and may he rest in the bosom, his soul rest in the bosom of Lord Krishna. Before I go, I see our Daughter's coordinator and MP for St. Augustine is here. I would call her one time to say a few words nationally where the politics is concerned on behalf of the party. Ms. Amin.
Sitaram Pandit, to Reggie's wife, his daughters, his son, members of the bereaved family, and I look around and I see members of the UNC family, and I acknowledge the presence of every one of you. I really appreciate speaking after Praki, because Praki and Reggie had a closer working relationship. And I think Praki really put in a nutshell Reggie and his UNC side. Those of you who are members of his family will have different memories. You will have memories of family gatherings. You will have memories of birthdays and special occasions. You will have memories even of sad times, the passing of a parent, the unfortunate incident, and how you as a family would have dealt with that, and Reggie's presence and his role in that. We in the United National Congress acknowledge Reggie for his service. Today I look around, I see members of the UNC constituency executive for Tunapuna, members of the national campaign team, our national campaign manager, Mr. Feroz Khan, and other persons from the UNC. And this morning, it is my duty to bring greetings on behalf of the United National Congress and our national executive on the passing of a soldier and a stalwart and a person who stood for what he believed in. But I will tell you, Reggie was no easy man. Reggie was never a person who would say yes and go with the flow. No matter what you say, Reggie will have a different opinion to put forward. Mind you, most of the times he is just being devil's advocate. Most of the time he just wants us to consider a different view. But when you're on the hustle and you're on the go and you want everybody to go in one direction, and one man standing up and say, all you feel we should really be going so, understand that that would rub some people the wrong way. So Reggie always had very tense arguments with people who were in the UNC, mind you, everybody on the same track, but Reggie would always offer a different opinion. And that, to me, is one of the strengths that he exhibited. That is one of the things that makes a team stronger, makes a family stronger, makes a unit stronger. And for that, I pay tribute to him today. And as surprising as his passing will be, we are all shocked it will leave a void for us in Tunapuna. I want us to cherish that in him. Mind you, I'm not encouraging all it to be as bad as Reggie was with it, because we would often get into a lot of arguments. But as I say, it was all done in good spirit, and we were all going on one path. Reggie also had a lot of other interests. Sometimes we have WhatsApp groups, and he would share things that were not related to politics at all, and he would send it to us for us to have a different perspective, for us to be open-minded about other things in the universe. So that made up our core group. And I know that in the Tunapuna executive, you will have to have a replacement, but I don't think there's anybody who can replace Reggie at all. So to his family, I thank you for allowing him to be in service with the United National Congress. Some of his time that he would have dedicated to you would have been dedicated to the UNC. And I thank you for sparing him for the contribution that he would have made. And on behalf of our political leader, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, I pray that God's strength and comfort be with you in this time. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you. I know that Mr. Feroz is not a man who is of many words, but as a national campaign manager of the United National Congress, and a person whom Reggie would have had many exchanges with, I really want to invite him to the microphone at this time to say a few words, because he would have had a different perspective than Reggie. So I welcome Mr. Feroz Khan, National Campaign Manager, at this time.
Thank you very much, MP Amin, members of the bereaved family, Pandit, all friends and relatives of our dear brother, Reggie. This is a voice that could not be silenced in life, that now is silent. But bear in mind that there will be no silence in heaven, because for sure, when Reggie makes his entry there will be no peace, because he will have his word. I want to say a very special thanks to Reggie and his family for the contribution they have made and the service that he has made to our great party, and for his support and contribution over the years. It is untimely that it has ended so quickly, but Reggie's contribution can't be measured in time. Reggie's contribution is measured in quantity and quality. Reggie always had a contribution to make, and we will value it. He was a specialist videographer, as many of you have said, and he always had an opinion of how we could improve our productions, how we could do things better, and we will miss those words of advice. But my brother Reggie, peace on your journey, and may God continue to bless your family, and you will have eternal peace in the hereafter. I thank you very much.
Well, Reggie was from Kirep. He went to school, he went to Hillview from Kirep, but he moved closer to Hillview. I don't know if it's this because of his desire and his respect for learning that the Lord has brought him here, closer to the school. I think One of his colleagues, Stephen Kangal, would be here as well, and I think he's from the Hillview group as well, and I will ask him to say a few words.
Panditji, members of the bereaved Seeraj family, MP Indar Singh was here early on but had to leave. Councillor Barrett, MP Amin, and others, my dear brothers and sisters. Good morning, Sitaram or Namaste. I would like to thank Divyas Panditji for his most illuminating discourse and explanation of the doctrine of death in Hinduism, and thank him for all the good words that he said about my colleague, Reggie. On Friday night, while I was perusing Facebook, I saw a student of mine, Lomas Bibeki, who was a very good friend of Reggie, post on Facebook, and Lomas is here, that Reggie had passed on. And I immediately replied to him and asked him, why is he joking? And then he replied to me, yes, no, Reggie had passed on. It took me some time to regain my composure because I had a relationship with the Seeraj family that stretched from 1955 to the present day, which is 70 years ago. I had to take some time. I could not write anything on Reggie at the time because earlier this month, Reggie had invited me, firstly, to come to his 70th birthday, and later on in the same month to the satsang for Arya. But I could not make it because I'm not able to drive. So this morning, the statement which I am making that statement on behalf of the Hillview Old Boys Association. Reggie's passing was quite unexpected to me. It was sudden. It was shocking to so many of us who belong to his wide circle of friends. He was full of life and joie de vivre, and in spite of his physical handicap, which so many of us did not know about, he was able to conduct himself in a normal way. As was said earlier, from a political viewpoint, he had a most analytical mind, and the intellect he had of a cross-examiner or a prosecutor. He was very invasive, and he was, he put you on the stand, as it were. If there is one high political official in Trinidad and Tobago who can now rest in peace, I believe that person can relax a bit, because very often the graphics that Reggie posted on the social media were very much, to his detriment. Jivan, who is here, Seeraj, he came from Toronto, Canada. Jivan and I started Hillview in 1955. He and I were in the first class at Hillview. Hillview was then where Morton House is, where Aramalia Church is. Another brother of his, Keshu, also went to Hillview. And then Reggie came. And Reggie came to Hillview. He saw and he conquered. I knew the family, as I said, for about 70 years now, knew the father and the parents and so forth. In 1972, I took Reggie with 38 other students on a geographical tour of Guyana. We toured the whole of Guyana during that year, 1972, with the kind assistance of the late Prime Minister of Guyana, Forbes Burnham. Since then, Reggie and I became very close. I think after Hillview, after he graduated from Hillview, he joined TTT, as was said earlier on, as a cameraman at TTT. Reggie, during his time, had a very insatiable passion and devotion to his alma mater, Hillview College. It is no coincidence that when he decided to settle down, he tried to settle down and live in a place which is very near to Hillview. So he had an emotional attachment to Hillview as well as a physical nearness and proximity to Hillview. In 2015, Hillview celebrated its 60th anniversary, which we call his Diamond Jubilee. And Reggie and his wife, Sunita, contributed enormously with his skills, his graphic skills, his photographic skills, his video skills, to be able to record the entire year of events. And that was a big contribution that he made. He put his best effort into recording these events because 60 years of Hillview is no short period. He even went to Canada to cover the joint celebration of the events. So this outstanding event, the commemoration of the 60th anniversary, promoted Hillview in the public domain. And you know, he tried to make Hillview known as much as possible because of 60 years of contribution to education excellence. I know that Reggie was a devoted family man, and of course, we must give thanks to all his daughters for those testimonies that they provided with us, added another dimension of our understanding of Reggie. Now, there are several dimensions in the life of Reggie that we all heard about today. But there's one particular aspect which I like to describe him. Reggie was the institutional memory of Trinidad and Tobago politics. He was the institutional memory. He was the reservoir. He was the library where all the ups and downs of politics were there. So when in this country we have a very 3-day short memory. So when we tend to forget events of a political nature, he was able to recreate it in front of us and do so with his graphic skills, with his videos, with his photography, with his creations in a very, very, very successful way. So that I want to believe that we must forget that he would have left a great void in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago, because he was there to remind people of what they say and how they were deviating from what they say. And he put it together in a most dramatic fashion. So he summoned all his skills. In fact, earlier on, one of the authors mentioned that Reggie had lost his leg. But if you saw Reggie, you would not believe that he had any physical handicap. And he did a great service to the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot think at this moment of anyone on social media who have made a more tremendous impact on our intellect and our understanding of the ups and downs of Trinidad and Tobago politics. So what we have lost is not only a great human being, but the purveyor and custodian of our evolving institutional memory in politics. I think that Facebook and social media will be poorer without his incisive graphics and experience. There'll be a huge void in social media that cannot easily be filled. I think the Pandit Ji earlier was singing this, I be akela, Jai be akela, we come alone and we go alone. Well, I think Reggie is an exception to that. Because while he may have come alone, he is not going alone. He leaves with us the memory and the love. And within his family, he's taking all the love with him. So he's not going alone. He's going to where he belongs in Nirvana with all our love, all our affection, all our appreciation for what he has done. So I bid him farewell, brother and friend. And thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving Hillview. And thank you for loving all of us. And now I would like to invite my colleague, former vice principal of Hillview College, to make a presentation, please.
I would like to make this presentation to his wife. It's a college tie, and it's a memento that we hope that the family will keep. And this is in remembrance of Reggie and the great contribution he has made to the development of Hillview College in general, and in particular, the Hillview College Old Boys Association. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask his better half to come forward and offer a flower and perform arti. And then anyone, as quickly as possible, who would want to come forward and offer a flower may do so, or maybe just file pass. Time seems to be getting away from our hands here, so I ask you all, very expeditiously, let us perform this part of the ceremony. If it's just a file pass or maybe offer a flower, you may come forward as soon as the better half has completed. Yeah, we may have somebody on this time. While this is going on, we are going to join in singing the praises of the Lord with some beautiful bhajans again. Om Mandakare Mahagore Tamasa Mahatabrite Tattamona Deepoyam Diyate Maya.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol Ram Ram Bol Ram Ram Bol
Ram Ram Bol, Ram
Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol.
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 Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Ram Ram bol, Ram Ram bol.
Ram Ram bol, Ram Ram bol.
Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol.
Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Ram Ram bol, Ram Ram bol.
Ram Ram bol, Ram Ram bol.
Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol.
Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol.
Nanda ke Lal Murli Gopal.
Lal Murli Gopal.
Nanda ke Lal Murli Gopal.
Nanda ki Lal Murli Gopal.
Giridhari Govinda Radhe Gopal.
Giridhari Govinda Radhe Gopal.
Nanda ke Lal Murli Gopal.
Nanda ki Lal Murli Gopal.
Giridhari Govinda Radhe Gopal.
Giridhari Govinda Radhe Gopal.
Nanda Mukunda Radhe Gopal.
Nanda Mukunda Radhe Gopal.
Nanda Mukunda Radhe Gopal.
Nanda Mukunda Radhe Gopal.
Radhe Jai Radhe Jai 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 Radhe Gopal.
Radhe 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 Gopal.
Radhe 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 Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Murli Gopal.
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Sham Gopal.
Radhe Sham Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sai Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sai Gopal.
Radhe 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 Gopal.
Radhe 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 Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Murli Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Murli Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sham Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sham Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sai Gopal.
Radhe Sai Gopal.
Radhe Radhe Sai Gopal. Radhe Radhe Sai Gopal.
Krishna 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 Mudalitesha Mudalitesha Mohan Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Govardhan Dhara Krishna, Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopi Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Govardhan Dhara Krishna, Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Rasa Vilora, Krishna, Krishna. Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Rasa Vilora, Krishna, Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Vasudeva, Krishna, Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Bharti Krishna, Shri Satya Sai, Krishna, Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Bharti Krishna,
Shri Krishna, Bharti Krishna, Shri Satya Sai, Krishna, Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Bharti Krishna, Shri Satya Sai, Krishna, Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्री रामचंद्र की जय। सब कोई खड़े हो जाए, let's all stand. And on a spiritual note, I would like to say that a little over 30 years I have begun my career as a pundit. For 30 years before that, Reggie would have been going from house to house in satsang, reading Ramayana as well. And I want to say, may that Supreme Almighty, to whom he sang the praises of, may he continue to feel that presence wherever his mind is. May he always be eternally at peace, eternally happy in the presence of that Supreme Almighty. As he has given up this body of his today, we pray that his vision returns to the area of the sun. May his atma soar towards the heavens, and may his karmas, his good deeds, of which we have heard so much today, be reflected upon this earth for the benefit of all. May the soothing waters and the healing herbs that comprise this body, may they also return to their respective quarters. Let's go on my shoulder, let's clasp hands, and let us pray in this name. Ayom Surya Chakshur Gacha Tu Atmatma Dhyan Cha Gacha पृथ्वी च धर्मण अपोवा यदि तत्र ते हितं ओषधीषु प्रतिष्ठ शरीरे अनाथनिधनो देवा शङ्खचक्र गदाधर अक्षय पुण्डरीकाक्ष प्रेत मोक्ष वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। राम नाम we ask you to come to the conjurers now, to come forward.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I traveled each and every byway, oh, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, oh, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up, and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way.
We don't have much talking anything now, you know. Okay.
Step on you.
No.
Oh, I know you know, man.
Yeah.
You know me?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I know. Stoop down. Take the ball on this side. Hold it somewhere. Break it in four. Shrub is outside. Prachay Namaha. Avachay Namaha. Udichay Namaha. Pratichay Namaha. Adyamu Gotrasya. Rajanjanatnam Pretasya. Mritistani Shonamit. Chatvarstale Pindaste Mayadiyate Tauputisitam Raja. Idam Satilam Jalam Mayadiyate Tauputisitam. Idam Satilam Jalam Mayadiyate Tauputisitam. Sprinkle some water. Rajanjanatnam Pretasya. Mritistani Shonamit. Idam Snanam Mayadiyate Tauputisitam. Hold this summer. Rest it on the ground. Three times around the face. Adyamu Gotrasya, Rajanjanatnam Pretasya, Mritistani Shornimit. Rest it on this side. Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Tauputisitam. 3 drops of water. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Ram Nam. Satya head. You sprinkle some water? Yeah. Okay. All you take up now? Foot first. All you come with me. Okay. Both of you come with me, sir. There we go, sir. No, face so. Face the side. Face the side. You know what? You should face this side. You have to go. Turn around. Surya Chakshur Gacha. Tu Vatemat Madhyam Sa Gacha. Right here. Turn around here. Prativicha Dharmana Apova Yadi Tapratehata Moshadeshu Pratimtishta Sharirai. Take the ball again, break it in four. Prachay Namaha, Avachay Namaha, Udichay Namaha, Pratichay Namaha. Adyamu Gotrasya, Rajanjanatnam Pretasya, Mritistani Shonimit, Idam, Kechar Nimit Pindaste Mayadiyate, Tauputisitam, Satilam Jalam Mayadiyate, Tauputisitam. Adyamu Gotrasya, Rajanjanatnam Pretasya, Mritistani Shonimit, Idam Snanam Mayadiyate, Tauputisitam. Idam Deepam Mayadiyate Tauputistitam Rajanjanatnam Pretasya Mritistani Shonamit. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Take up again. Om Surya Chakshur Gacha Tu Vatemat Madhyam Cha. Face that side, use your left hand. Jamcha Gacha Prativicha Dharmana Apova Yadi Tatrate Hitam Ushadishu Pratim Tishta Shariraya. Right here again. So. Sprinkle some water. Adyamu Gotrasya. Come this side. Rajanjanatnam Pretasya Mritistani Shonimit Idam Snanam Mayadiyate Tauputistitam. Rajanjanatnam Pretasya Mritistani Shonimit Idam Deepam Mayadiyate Tauputistitam. Idam deepam maya diyate taupatistitam. Let's say it again. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Ram Nam Satya hai. Sabko ghati sach hai. Take up again. Om Surya Chakshur Gacha. Tu Vatematma Dhyamcha Gacha. Prithvicha Dharmana. Apova Yadi Tatrate Hatam Ushdishu Pratam Tishta Sharirair. Ram Nam Satya hai. 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 Nam, this side, come this side. Satya hai. Ram Nam 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 Satya hai. Yeah, right there, language. Satya hai. Take up the ball again, break it. Huh? No, one down there, and then three here, four here. Om Prachai Namaha, Avachai Namaha, Udachai Namaha, Pratichai Namaha, Adyamo Gotrasya, Rajindranath Nam Pretasya, Mritistani Shonimit, Idam, Pant Nimit Pindaste Maya Diate, Taupatistitam, Idam, Satyalam Jalam Maya Diate, Taupatistitam. Rajindranath Nam Pretasya, Mritistani Shonimit, Idam, Snanam Maya Diate, Taupatistitam. Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Taupatistitam. Rajindranath Nam Pretasya Mritistani Shonimit. Chitrapada. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Om Panch Tattva Shanti. Ram Nam Satya hai. Okay, take all the flowers now. Maybe we could empty out something there. Yeah, take up all the flowers. We could put, if they empty out the ghee there, we could put in that container. We want to put the flowers. Yeah, come, take up the flowers now. Come. Give him. You have the gold here. Two on either eyelid, two in the nose hole, and one in the mouth. Throw it all first so it will be easier. Up. That is pressure. Yeah. Don't fall on this, right? We will put the tulsi on the lip now. See if I have a tulsi stick there. Oh, beautiful. Empty out all the rice and thing here. Empty it. All the camphor too? The camphor? Just empty it out. What again we have there? The cushion, then put the cushion too. Give him a hand there, bhai. Yeah. The youths and them may have this art. Good weather. No change at all. You're looking just like Reggie. You could get up and walk over just so nobody ain't frightened.
When the boys going on the fire, the girls could walk around too?
Yeah.
And me?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, put in. Yeah, put in. That can open sooner, you need to knock off the whole head.
Just knock it on the concrete.
Yeah. No, listen. This, you wouldn't be able to spray all of them, break off the head and empty it out. Not this churn, let somebody bigger hold it and break it out. Let me see this. This is a spray holy bottle.
That one break already.
Huh?
Yeah,
Okay, empty all that one. Give somebody bigger this. Hi. Huh? Yeah. You mean to?
No knife? Just stop the here.
Careful, man. Yeah, empty them. All right, give me a bottle. Okay, let's go in. Come this side. Olive, come this side. Bayo. I see you there, but you see what's going on with the timing and things. Yeah. I didn't tell you anything here. And I'm glad to see you here too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, come this side. Where is Teria? Take this, mix up, light it for him. Yeah, stoop down. Om Kabyadam Agnim Prahino Miduram Yam Rajam Gachatur Pravaha Ihai Vayamitaro Jata Veda Deve Byohabhyam Cha Prajanayat Swaha Om Sarvapaparang Dibyam Gangayang Nirmalang Chalang Achmanang Maya Dattangritang Purushottamaha. Okay, we're making 34, so a little bit. All of this. When I say Swaha, everybody says Swaha and then you offer, okay? Om Lom Abhya Swaha. This straight so. So, Twache Swaha, a little more. Loitai Swaha, Medobhya Swaha, Masebhya Swaha, Snayubhya Swaha, Astabhya Swaha, Majjabhya Swaha, Retase Swaha, Payave Swaha, Ayasaye Swaha, Prayasaye Swaha, Sanjasaye Swaha, Vyasaye Swaha, Udyasaye Swaha, Shuche Swaha, Shuchate Swaha, Sochamanai Swaha, Shokaye Swaha, Tapase Swaha, Tapyate Swaha, Tapyamanai Swaha, Taptaye Swaha, Garmaye Swaha, Nishkrityaye Swaha, Prayashchityaye Swaha, Bekajaye Swaha, Jammaye Swaha, Brahmane Swaha, Java Prativibhyam Swaha, Vishwebhyo Devebhyo Swaha, Vishwebhyo Bhutebhyo Swaha, Java Prativibhyam. Skip all on waiting. Swaha. Tomorrow morning early. Off it all. Skip all on waiting. Om Agnenaya Subhataraya Sman Vishwani Vayunani Vidwan. You just Majuhurana Meno, wipe your hand. Buyastante Namoktim Videma. Five of them. Yeah, one each. You could only hold one, stick to one, you will hold his hand. So you walk with him. Yeah, because he a little small now. Light up all together. Right them here. This is don't turn them too.
The rest of them go behind, right?
Yeah. No. Give all of them one thing.
Yeah.
Light together. Maybe we could move this tent now or after?
After.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch. All go behind and be in front. All go wrong front. Yeah, here be in front. Yeah.
You go on that side. Go on that side. Okay, light up together now. Everybody light up together, same time. Light up. Put the stick, put in the stick. Where you? Oh God, well, you know how it is. Eh? Oh. All right. Yeah. Go on, walk fast, all you. Crab yard, keep it down, eh? Just justify and go again. Crab yard, keep it down. Crab yard, again, keep it down. And walk a little fast. Crab yard, magnum, krohinom, duram, yam rajam, gachatura, pravaha, ehayam eterojata veda, deve biohabyam chaprajanayat swaha. Om Dharma Niskritya Sudushkrita Dharma Krishna Hare Hare Om Shantakaram Bhujagashenam. But yeah, he said, all you stand up, but all you stand up in position. Yeah, stand up in position. One hold the weight and one hold the post. You could leave the weight behind if somebody would hold it to go out here. All right. Yeah. Okay, come this way now. Let them come this way. Take this here. Take this bag here. Take the bag. This next one. It had anything in it? Yeah, leave this one. Put it inside this. And come with that one. Just move the dirt a little bit here and you could stick this plant in it right here. Yeah. Move this and bury it down a little bit. Okay. Now stand up that side and face out. Yeah. No, you come behind him. Just a knife and thing in this too. Okay, bounce your hand. Bounce your hand like a cup, so you collect the water and then you turn it this side, let it pass through here on top of it, okay? Say Om, bounce it, collect it, good. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Okay, you come. Bounce your hands so too. Collect the water, correct. Go back a little more so. Yeah, and let it fall through here on top of the stick, okay? Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Bend it this way. So, yeah, come again. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Okay, you go. Take out your ring now, loose it out.
Not you.
Come. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. Okay, keep your hand right there. Keep your hand over there. And just bend it one side on top there. Yeah. Om, Rajindranath, Tripyatam. 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 Okay, take out the ring, loose it on, and put it right here. So tomorrow in the morning, let them make one pinda and come and offer it. Okay? bring some milk on the
आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला